So I'm going to show you something. And then after I'm done with him, the rest of them won't play with me.
What's good, guys? Prince Sports here, coming at you with another one. So the rainstorm has cooled down. As you see, it took over an hour for the rainstorm to cool down. They get thunderstorms here, floods. Some people's houses get flooded. So it's crazy, man. But nevertheless, let's get started with what I want to talk about. Now, I did a list of the top 5 toughest players in NBA history for me. So why not I do the opposite? Let's do mentally and physically the weakest minded NBA players, and physically the less aggressive players that shy away from moments when their team need them the most. So some runner-ups is Anthony Davis, Draymond Green, who else? Kevin Durant. Okay, so those are the honorable mentions of guys that's on that list. Now, just like the other list, there's 2 aspects to being the softest NBA player. There's the mental aspect to it, and then there's a physical aspect. What I'm going to do is combine both of them together and players that embody both of them, not just one, but both qualities. Okay, so let me start out with number 5. Number 5 is none other than one of the greatest shooters, if not the greatest shooters of all time, Steph Curry. But here's the thing about Steph Curry, Mr. Pretty Boy of the NBA. When it comes to disappearing acts, he could be Houdini, okay? There's many times Steph Curry has disappeared in the fourth quarter, disappeared in games, been non-existent in games, and it's more times he did that than show up in games. So I have to add him on this list. And also he's part of the biggest meltdown in NBA history. Okay, the biggest choke job in NBA history on the biggest stage there is in the NBA Finals, 2016, belongs to Steph Curry. You blow a 3-1 lead in the NBA Finals. That's classic, all on a bad note. Okay, he owns that. I mean, it's going to be forever on your resume. And that, and the fact that there's just times that if you punch this dude in the mouth, his counter reaction is just to curl up in the corner and be like a biatch, and just disappear in games. So if you get rough and physical with Steph Curry, you could take him out of basketball games, and it has happened more than once. So he comes in at number 5. And to come in at number 5 on his list is a pretty good thing, because, hey, you could have came at number 1. Anyway, number 4 on his list is none other than Scotty Pippen, the king of simps himself. Okay, listen, man. When it comes to being mentally weak and physically not producing, he embodies both of these things. Not only does this guy quit on his team, but he doesn't embody any form of leadership. He's an ultimate follower. Okay, he's the type of guy that he'll perform well or perform good if you get underneath his skin and you push him. But he needs somebody to push him. Okay, because he doesn't have any embodiments of being a leader. His physical play on a basketball court, he just don't get it. Okay, and a lot of reasons why he just don't get it is because mentally, and that thing, that pump in his chest, that pump in his heart, he don't get it. He's missing it. And he needs guys like Michael Jordan to push him to even play close to being an all-star. Okay, the fact that this guy even won 6 championships with Mike is amazing within itself. Okay, so that brings us to number 3. Number 3 is none other than Mr. I can't take criticism from nobody. I'm going to go and hide and run. I'm going to leave my team. I'm going to pretend to be injured. Ben Simmons. Okay, this guy won't even attempt to take a jump shot. Okay, if you got a guy that's supposed to be your all-star on the basketball team, but he shies away from big moments. He don't even want to be part of big moments. He'd rather pass the ball up because he don't want to be in that position to help his team win basketball games. That's the ultimate guy that's mentally weak and physically weak. All right, he doesn't show up on both ends of the floor. He just leaves you scratching your head like, what the hell happened to you? Now, number 2 on his list is none other than LeBron James. Okay, if it's anybody that's stuck with the stigma of um, being mentally weak from a superstar perspective, it's LeBron James. Okay, not only does he own the biggest meltdown in NBA Finals history with the 2011, this is a guy that choked away several NBA championships. And part of the reason is because he shies away from moments because of the fact he cares more about his numbers and his image more than anything. Okay, not saying he don't care about winning, but the numbers and looking good is number 1 on his resume. Okay, he'd rather shoot 50% from a field than shoot 45% from the field and win a basketball game. Okay, it's all about the numbers and filling up the stat sheet with this guy. He's an ultimate stat stuffer, and the fact that if you punch this guy in the mouth, there's a good chance that he won't come back from that neither. You know, if you stand up to the bully, because he is a bully in some aspects, he back down. Okay, and that alone leaves one of the reasons to why people disrespect this guy and don't respect him as much as you think a superstar of his magnitude should be respected. You know, I often say he's a Floyd Mayweather of basketball, and yeah, they're in that same category. But for the bad things, the negative things. Now, number 1 on this list is none other than James Harden. Okay? Oh, God. Mentally weak, physically weak, depends on referees to help him out in games, crybabies in games, doesn't show up, disappears when his team needs him the most, more than any so-called superstar in NBA history. That title belongs to James Harden. Okay? And he's stuck with that. That's going to stay with him for the rest of his career. It's not going to go away. He's going to forever be known as a choke artist. He's going to forever be known as a guy that, you know, is mentally weak. And he's just one of those dudes that I back down to. And he's a good front runner when it comes to basketball, but he's all right, but he's not real. And that describes James Harden. Number 1 on his list for most softest superstars in the NBA history. James Harden. Prince Sports out. Peace.